Hello everybody, and welcome to the last and final day of 14 days of sunscreen. This has truly been, I think, what was the best 14 days of sunscreen. Here comes the sunscreen. So if you have liked all 14 days, and there's also, my final wrap up tomorrow, so it's not completely over. But if you have enjoyed this series, if you're not already subscribed, please do so. I put in a lot of time, money, and effort into these videos, and I do hope that they are helpful. But I also do lots of videos like sunscreen reviews, brand reviews, skincare, all of that. So I hope you stick around after this is over. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. Hi, welcome back. But we're gonna jump in. There's a train. I don't know if you can hear it. Also, it's the morning light, so we've got some sunlight over here and not over here. But I am trying to film in natural light. I just think it looks, I don't know, a little bit better. It's a little trickier if it's cloudy, but we're gonna roll with it. So we're gonna jump in because this is one of my absolute favorite sunscreens. I am not gonna try to, hold my thoughts to the end. I've already reviewed this on my channel, but I do want to include it in this because if people are coming and they're just finding this playlist of mineral tinted sunscreens, I think this is a really valuable one to include. So I am going to be reviewing it once more, and I just love it so much. So let's get in right now. If you haven't already figured it out from the thumbnail, we are reviewing the InnBeauty Project Mineral Sun Glow. So this is, I think it came out about a year ago-ish at this point, so 2024, like spring, and I immediately fell in love. They had two shades at the time. This one was the fair medium, and then it was like a medium deep, I believe. Since then, they've come out with a middle shade. I still just have this one lightest shade. It works for me perfectly. If you do have a deeper complexion, they do have two other options, which is good. Or a lot of people use the medium shade, like the middle shade, even if they are more like light fair, as kind of like a bronzy sunscreen. So that is an option if you're looking for it. But I just love this and I stick to the lightest shade. So I'm gonna jump in. I have nothing on my face. My skin, if you don't know by now, is balanced, normal. Gets a little bit more oily in the T-zone in the summertime because I do live in the South in North Carolina and it gets humid here. So nothing on my face. I always do my skincare or my sunscreen reviews with a bare face because if I put on different skincare and vitamin C serums, they just affect how the sunscreen is gonna kind of look and maybe sometimes sit. But that's not to say that you shouldn't do your normal routine. I just do it because this is my control, a bare face. So 1/4 teaspoon is for my neck and my face. Some people do a little bit more. For me, I have found that this works perfectly. And usually that is, in a lot of sunscreens, that's about 4 to 5 pumps. Another good way, if you're not using 1/4 teaspoon, is to pump it out onto your finger and then scoop it into 1/4 teaspoon once. Then you know how many pumps it is and you can just go off of that. So I'll stop talking now and apply it to my face. So this is InnBeauty Project's Mineral Sun Glow. It is broad spectrum SPF 43 with 3 PA pluses. So that's for UVA. Retails for $35 and comes in 1.7 fluid ounces or 50 milliliters, your typical amount. Like I said before, this comes in 3 shades and they say that it has a lightweight silky texture that absorbs instantly into the skin with 0 white cast. I would 100% agree with that, especially for this shade on me. And I also want to add that it feels so silky. It feels like actual skincare. And I'm so surprised with the feeling of it because for a mineral sunscreen, it doesn't even feel like a sunscreen. It feels like skincare more than sunscreen. That said, when I wear it over skincare, it does feel like a little different when I put it on my face, but not in a massive way. I just feel like when I put it on a bare face, it just, chef's kiss. As far as ingredients, we have 14.28% non-nano zinc oxide. It does have beta-lactam salicylate. So technically, as much as I love this sunscreen, if I want to be super, rigid about it, this would be a hybrid sunscreen because when you do have beta-lactam salicylate, it's kind of a hidden active sunscreen filter, but they don't actually have to call it out. I think one day that might change, but for the time being, this is, in my opinion, hybrid. But you know what? For me, my skin doesn't mind beta-lactam salicylate, so I wear it and I love it regardless. They also have a super antioxidant complex, so it's a blend of vitamin C and other antioxidants. There is something called blue oleoactive, I don't know how to pronounce that, but they're basically like what is it, black, red, and brown rice extracts. So that is supposed to help from pollution and blue light. I don't know if I believe in those. I mean, I believe in pollution, but I don't know about blue light. And then a peptide complex and natural moisturizing factors. So you are getting moisturization, you are getting some skincare benefits, and you are getting SPF protection as well. Okay, let's talk about scent for this. This one doesn't have any added fragrance, but it does smell like a typical mineral sunscreen. For me, that's not a problem, and I don't think there's anything like, they haven't added anything, but if you know that kind of like earthy, minerally scent, that's what it smells like to me. But again, it's not really an issue, I don't think, but I do like to tell you about it. Also, let's talk about the finish on this one. So this is my face with some makeup on. I've been doing pretty much the same thing when I wear a tinted mineral sunscreen, because they do feel just a hair heavier than a chemical sunscreen. And I don't mean heavy, but I just feel like they kind of level out any redness or discoloration on my face. I don't like to go in with a full foundation or any type of foundation over top. I prefer just concealer, and it feels like it lets my skin shine and it has the amount of coverage that I want. So for today, I also, just like many other days, I've worn concealer around my T-zone, a little bit of blush and mascara, and that's pretty much it. But as you can see, I have this really nice radiance to my face, but it's not that like over the top glowy where you're just like, did you stick your face in a pan of grease? I don't know, maybe. That is not my favorite. I do not like looking unnaturally glowy. I just think that like any extreme is not really my thing. Like too matte looks bad usually for me. And I'm just talking about myself, and too glowy as well. But I think this one just has like the natural high points of your face, you're glowy. If you powder, which I did powder a little bit around my eyes, it will set it. And the other thing that I do like about this sunscreen is it does set. It's not going to be like transfer resistant like most sunscreens are not, because they are sitting on top of your face. They're not really like absorbing all the way in, but it does set to the point where like you're not going to just feel it slipping and sliding around, which is a huge plus for me, and one of the reasons that I love this sunscreen so much. The other thing I like about it is that it does actually kind of last this glow. I've worn it in the dead of winter. I wore it last winter in New York. It was like 10 degrees, or maybe it felt like it to me. And this over skincare, it really retained this glow. And as I put like a glowy blush or maybe a glowy highlighter, it really like amps up what you have, so that if you're looking for that glow, you can continue to have it throughout the day. And then let's talk about skin type for this. So this one, I think it's really gonna be suited for almost all skin types. Now, if you do have more like truly oily skin and you don't wanna glow, I mean, you probably wouldn't pick up a sunscreen that says Mineral Sun Glow. But if you maybe have like combo skin and you don't mind a glow on certain parts, I think this is a good option, because you can really tame it down and like tamper the glow just by using a little bit of powder. And if you have more dry skin, it's probably not going to be the most moisturizing, but I think on top of quite a bit of skincare and like some glowy products, you can retain some of the glow. That said, mineral sunscreens, I mean, it's zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, which is not in this one, the TD, but zinc oxide is a more drying ingredient. So if you do have dry skin and you're constantly using mineral sunscreens and you feel like your face is just always dry, it could be because of that. It's just part of it, like you can't escape it. So I wouldn't like count it out just because like maybe your skin is still dry. That's just kind of the nature of mineral sunscreens. But I think you can kind of alleviate it by doing skincare underneath. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, of course, was the skin tones. So I only have this shade, but there are lots of swatches online where you can see the 3 different shades. And I do love that they did 3 shades. They came out with 2 and then they added a 3rd. And it's just one of those things where this is a light enough tint that I think a lot of people can get away with this shade, but it also doesn't work sometimes for even the very fairest people. So brands like InnBeauty Project and Supergoop, the ones that are bigger, they really should be putting out 3 to start with, and even expanding beyond that, because while it works for a lot of skin tones, there's always going to be kind of that edge case where people are left out of the spectrum. Okay guys, I want to add an insert of the arm swatch, the tint and how it oxidizes. So this is the swatch. I put this on about probably 20 minutes ago now, so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to add a new one. So there you have the swatch, and you can see that this one has oxidized some, but honestly, this is one of the better, less like kind of oxidized tints that I've seen, especially in these 14 days. So especially when you blend it out, which I can blend this. Oh, it's kind of dried. But when you blend it out, it really gives you a little bit of color, but not substantially like some of the others that we've seen. All right, guys, so I'm sitting down. This is after the fact, but because this is the last day, day 14, I did want to talk about one thing that's kind of come up in the preceding 13 days of this series, and that is the price. So this retails for $35, which in my estimation is actually a pretty decent price in terms of what you're getting and the quality of the product. I've definitely had comments in the past where when I say something is affordable, $25 or something like that, or even $35 if I were to say that this is affordable, people would be like, that's not affordable for me. And I understand that. I'm not, you know, I can only speak from my experience, but I also am looking at it from a perspective of like the sunscreens that are available to us. And I'm talking tinted mineral sunscreens. Drugstore tinted mineral sunscreens are not that great. They either oxidize heavily or the shades are just pretty terrible. The fact of the matter is most of them are just in one shade, and that shade usually doesn't work for a good variety of people. So I'm trying to say that this is affordable because when you start looking a little bit bigger picture, $35 ends up being on the more affordable side. And furthermore, this one in particular is a bit more flexible for different skin types. The other one that we had in this series that was cheaper was the Australian Gold. That one is so matte that it really is not gonna work for people that, I mean, a lot of people with dry skin, which I feel like is a lot of people out there looking for these types of sunscreens. So I do wanna like just call that out. This, I know it's not affordable for a lot of people. And if you're purchasing this on a monthly or every other month basis, $35 adds up pretty quickly. But I just want you to think of it a little bit bigger picture and try to find something that's more affordable and also as good as this that comes in 3 shades. Now, again, there are some out there and it's always my mission to find the most affordable ones. And I know that this series, there were a lot of expensive ones, but also I just want to remind you all that I'm doing this hopefully for you. So like if you were looking at a sunscreen that's $60 and you're like, I don't know, should I buy it? Hopefully these videos have helped you maybe save some money. But also I don't know, I feel like I have to put it out there that like I did try to find affordable ones, but I also am not gonna just buy one when I know that it's kind of gonna be crap and not work for a lot of people. So I will end that rant here. I will give you my final thoughts now. This is the Dana of the future with no makeup on, and we'll go back to the Dana of the present that was reviewing this sunscreen. So final thoughts. I feel like I don't have to go into detail about this. If you really wanna watch my other video, I will link it here. And I feel like I've spoken very fondly about this whole review, but this is truly one of my absolute favorite sunscreens of all time. It was in my top 5 from 2024. I try to do new ones each year, but it is a classic for me. This is my 3rd bottle. I will continue to buy it. I know some people, I've heard that they don't like it, but like, I don't think there's a product out there that everyone in the whole world likes. But I think the majority of people that I've spoken to are on the same page with me. It just evens out your skin tone. You don't feel like you have to put a lot of makeup on, but you're getting protection from the sun. It is a higher SPF than a lot of mineral ones because a lot are 30, this one's 43. So yeah, I've not found one thing wrong with it. It's never pilled on me. I continue to just reach for it and love it year round. So this one is a special one in my heart. All right, guys, that is it. We did it. I mean, we still have tomorrow, the wrap up. But we have done all 14 days. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what your favorite was from this series. And if you've enjoyed it, just let me know your thoughts. I love to hear it and I always respond. So thank you again for watching and I will see you guys tomorrow for the wrap up. Bye.